Hopefully everyone can see my screen. So thank you for inviting me to speak today. As Jenny said, I'm going to talk about my path to environmental activism through motion graphics and my involvement with Extinction Rebellion, and how XR developed a set of design tools that are freely accessible to all to enable creatives, such as myself, to contribute to the climate emergency campaign. So I used to think of the climate crisis as an issue that needed addressing sometime in the future, but it was only with the United Nations IPCC report published in October 2018 that I realized how little time we have to prevent a catastrophe that will have devastating consequences to the lives of millions of people. I remember at the time looking at people walking in the street and how an acute feeling of disconnect overwhelmed me. How could people go about their usual business, ignoring the crisis, leaving this horrifying future for our kids to deal with? It was very much a gut reaction, suddenly realizing this devastation was going to happen in our lifetime, and the unimaginable thought of my daughter having to live through it. A feeling of hopelessness mixed with guilt motivated me to create a short animated explainer video that outlines in simple words where we are today and what will happen if we don't do something about it. When approaching this project, I had other people like me in mind, the ones who may be curious to learn more about the climate crisis but are not involved with environmental campaigning. Rather than shock people into despair, I wanted to make an accessible and attractive piece, invite the viewer in with a straightforward summary of the situation we are in and a call for action. And so I researched the subject, wrote the script, designed the storyboard, and animated the video. I learned more about the crisis in the process and felt an even greater urgency to get the video out to the world. I uploaded it to my website, and that was that. As an anonymous creative and a reluctant social networker, my website has very limited traffic, and the video was not getting any views at all. The whole exercise felt a bit pointless, a bit like speaking to myself. And then Extinction Rebellion burst into the streets with mass protests full of energy and color. It was calling people to join their direct actions in an effort to put pressure on governments to address the crisis. I found their strong visual presence and bold language striking, and I sympathized with their message and their non-violent principles. It then occurred to me that although I could never imagine myself taking part in blocking a road or gluing myself to a building, what I could do is offer them my animated short to raise awareness to their cause. I found a contact email on the website and emailed them. Serena Schellenberg, a disillusioned TV producer turned XR activist, got in touch with me with an ambitious plan to take my animation and produce a high-end video that would reach the mainstream media as many people as possible. She brought on board a sound engineer, a musician to score the video, and then Keira Knightley to record the voiceover. As a decentralized movement, XR activists and scientists hold many opinions and views. And while they stand behind the main principles of XR's cause, there isn't always an agreement on the path of action or the messaging. My animation, which I had created with my recently acquired knowledge of the crisis and with my own daughter's future in mind, was accepted with enthusiasm, but was also criticized for its Western-centric point of view. It needed to acknowledge that the crisis was not only an event that was going to happen in our children's future, but in fact was already happening right now, killing hundreds of thousands of people every year in droughts, fires, floods, and diseases. Another discussion followed. How strongly do we want to word the warning? Do we follow the worst case scenario, or do we try to end the animation with a hopeful message? Well, after much deliberation, a couple of messages were added at the end of the animation. I changed the fonts to XR's brand fonts, included the logo, and once that was done, the video was launched. And I will show you now, it's a 2.5 minutes video, that video that I created.
These are remarkable times. We're living through a crucial moment in the history of our planet. Yet we seem to charge ahead towards a catastrophic future, rather than seizing the opportunity to pause and change our ways. Human activity currently generates an excess of carbon emissions, which are released into the atmosphere, causing higher temperatures, which melt ice sheets and glaciers, contributing to rising sea levels and floods. Right now, the planet is already 1 degree Celsius warmer than it was 120 years ago. Scientists warn that we need to prevent the temperature from rising more than 0.5 degree, and we need to act now, or we will live to see the pollution of oceans and air, shortages of food and fresh water, the extinction of many species, the disappearance of low-lying cities and islands, mass migrations and social unrest. Millions of casualties due to floods, storms, heat waves, droughts, and disease. Our children will grow up in this devastated world. What will we say when they ask? The science and data were all there for everyone to see. Why didn't you stop this while you still could? Our governments must enter crisis mode before it's too late, urgently investing in and implementing policies to reduce carbon in the atmosphere. Let's choose a different path right now, so we can leave a world worth living in for our children.
Was that? Oh, sorry.
These are remarkable times. We're living through...
The video circulated in social media and was viewed thousands of times. Local versions were created in French, Polish, and Finnish. This is how my involvement with Extinction Rebellion began. Following the first animation, another animated explainer was created as a second of a two-part series. It addressed the issues that were lacking from my climate crisis video and focused on the planet's ecological emergency and biodiversity loss. A small team was formed to work together on developing the video and its message. Serena, the producer, Mark Ellis wrote the script, and Matthew Schriebman advised on the scientific information and messaging. It was narrated by Naomie Harris and scored by Brian Eno, again as a vehicle to reach a wider audience. This time, we also had a powerful PR team that helped us promote both animations. Having such a PR team made a huge difference, helping the videos reach people beyond the usual environmental and the already converted circles. The animations featured or were mentioned in around 120 media outlets, the New York Times, Reuters, Metro, and the Daily Telegraph, among others. And they were viewed an estimated of 5.5 million times each. So along with these high-profile projects, I now regularly support XR on their ongoing actions and campaigns with various much less glamorous design and animation work. I know that there are many people, activists, artists, and designers who are far more dedicated to the movement than I am, but you don't need to be a hardcore activist to be involved. Extinction Rebellion could use whatever you have to offer and whatever time you have to spare, each with your own set of skills, be it for training, logistics, finance, law, or creative support. XR made it easy for creatives to get involved with the movement. London design studio, This Ain't Rock and Roll, developed XR's visual identity, which consists of a symbol and logotype, a set of vivid colors, bold fonts, and various illustrations. This visual language and the movement's core messaging were developed in advance of XR's first public action to ensure greater impact and visibility. XR then made its brand tools easily available from their website, along with templates for banners, stencils, posters, and so on. Creatives are encouraged to use them and to expand the tools to meet new needs, ideas, and evolutions. At its core, the visual identity has a do-it-together approach that can be replicated by designers and non-designers at home. This visual identity realizes the movement's interest in bypassing current emphasis on ownership and copyright. Instead, XR's identity allows others to use and develop their work free from interference, a set of tools that gives XR a coherent and distinctive look, while allowing wide participation, individual creativity, and expression. XR's symbol was first designed by the anonymous artist, Extinction Symbol Person, in 2011, who loaned it to XR on condition of non-commercial use. The symbol depicts a globe with an hourglass symbolizing time running out to save the planet. Its strength lies in its simplicity of message and execution. Anyone can draw it on a banner, immediately making it recognizable and distinctive as an XR tool of protest. The XR color palette consists of 12 colors. The colors are bright, fun, and not associated with any political agenda or other eco movements, to emphasize the idea that to avoid climate catastrophe, we must come together with a new drive for change. XR other visual material is a mix of poetic, tongue-in-cheek, and menacing graphics. Woodblock-style illustrations featuring skulls, animals, and plants, combined with other graphics, such as textures, the acid house smiley, and handcuffs, a nod to XR's strategy of encouraging high-profile mass arrests. In the age of virtual presence and social media, XR's recognizable symbol, clear messaging, and bright colors prominent in the physical protests also play an important role in creating striking visuals that help protest images go viral, and as a result, they get picked up by mainstream media. The more XR is discussed on the news, the more awareness there is to the crisis, the more conversations and understanding of the extent and urgency of the crisis, the more pressure is placed on governments to catch up with public opinion and act. The voluntary work I do for XR brought greater clarity to how I want to manage my work and the kind of commissioned projects I want to do. The self-mocking cynic in me used to joke that I'm trying to save the world with animation, but there is great power in visuals as a means to distributing information, raising awareness, educating, and empowering. I feel fortunate to be able to tap into that power and use it to contribute to bringing about change. I came to believe that on a personal level, being part of a social movement, meeting like-minded people, and working together for a common goal helps me stay connected and engaged. It helps alleviate that feeling of helplessness, and although the movement struggle may not guarantee saving the world, I can look my daughter in the eye and know that I've tried. Thank you.